Good afternoon. I trust that you are doing very well. Welcome to my program. Here we just talk about everything that has to do with leadership, personal development. And if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. I'm also streaming on Twitter, LinkedIn as well, and on my two pages on Facebook. So wherever you are watching me from, thank you. Thank you so much. And this afternoon, if you have missed other conversation that I've had, you can just go to my YouTube channel or to my Facebook channel page rather, and look for whatever I've shared for the past few weeks, which is really encouraging and inspiring, and it's all purely personal development. This year, I believe that you have made a decision to become a better person. You have made a decision to embark on some of your dreams. And I'm just here as a facilitator, as someone who's here to support you so that you are able to fulfill some of those dreams that you have set your heart out to achieve this year. And today I want to talk about a very important subject, which is failure. It's inevitable if you're a person who has decided to be a better person, who has decided to make a difference in the world and live up to the fullest of your potential. It's imperative for you to understand that not everything that you have embarked on right now that you are going to succeed in. On the journey to greatness, on the journey to success, there'll always be stop signs. Maybe I would call them stop signs, because I believe that failure makes us to reflect and pause for a while. But there will be moments where you are going to fail. There will be moments where you are not going to achieve everything that you have embarked on to achieve. And I believe that sometimes we are so motivated and so focused on success, and sometimes we are also incapacitated when we face challenges along the way to the path that we have decided to embark on. And this is what I've also learned, that if you don't know how to deal with failure, it's going to be very difficult for you also to understand and to know how to deal with success. So remember, it's not just about success. It's also about the lessons that we gather along the way to the path that we have envisioned for ourselves. So everything about life, every failure about life is an important brick to your success, and to make sure that your success is a sustainable one. But how do you then deal with failure? You know, we'll encounter failures in our business, we'll encounter failure in our academics, we'll encounter failures in our relationship. Maybe perhaps in this season, you have just had a failed relationship, and maybe there's a lot of self-condemnation that's going through your heart, and you are judging yourself for not doing things right, and why your relationship's always failing. But whichever way, I like what Thomas Edison said on one of the courses, and this is what he said. He said, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to their success. So in other words, Thomas Edison is encouraging us that it's failure. It's when you quit on your dreams. It's when you quit on your aspiration. And sometimes we quit too soon, and not only to realize that we were very close to our success. But what are the consequences really of not rising above success? I believe that when you fail to rise above success, chances are that you're going to live far below your potential. Number two, when you fail to rise above failure, you are also going to create a failure, your habit. What do I mean? It means that you're not going to develop the resilience, the endurance that you need for you to actually succeed. What is going to happen in your life is that when failure or when quitting becomes a habit, it means that every time you are on a task, the moment you encounter challenges, the result will always be quitting. And also what quitting does is that the habit of quitting, what it does is that you always want to only exploit opportunities where you think, where you are guaranteed that you are going to succeed. But life doesn't work that way. We always have to keep on trying. So when we fail to rise above failure, and right now we might be dealing with a sense of failure. When you fail to rise above your failure, you're going to live below your potential. Also, quitting is going to become a habit. The other one also that is linked to quitting become a habit is that you are always going to be running away from responsibility. Because when you haven't healed from your failure, what happens that every time when you are given an opportunity, you always want to assess if this opportunity matches your ability. And sometimes we don't even take time to assess our ability if they match the opportunities before us. But because in our minds and in our hearts we are still dealing with a failure, we are also unlikely to take steps forward to seize those moments where we are given opportunities and where we are given responsibility. And in life, the way it works, whether in business, whether in corporate, whatever path that you have chosen, it's all about seizing those opportunities whenever they come before you. And if you are a person who wasn't healed from your failures, chances are that you're going to shy away, you're going to hide from seizing those moments. Remember, this year, I believe that you have chosen and decided that you're going to be the best of the best, and you're going to make sure that your potential is unleashed. But if your potential is going to be unleashed, if you're going to live up to your maximum ability and potential, it is important for you to make sure that you deal with every form of failure. Because if you don't deal with any form of failure or the pain that failure has caused you, chances are that you're going to hold back. In fact, even in your goal setting, even in your visioning, even in your planning, you are always going to plan and vision and create your vision according to your perceived ability. And every dream and every vision that seems bigger than what you've perceived you are capable of accomplishing and achieving, you always run away from that. So I'm here to encourage you that failure is inevitable, and we only fail when we quit on our dreams and when we quit on our aspiration. But then how do you rise? Maybe that's the question you're saying, Kelvin. How do you arise above failure? How do you make sure that you use failure to your advantage? Few things. There are a number of things I can talk about today, but I don't want to waste much of your time. But there are four important things. Yes, four important things that I want to talk about that are imperative to you, that will enable you and empower you to rise above your failure. I insist again that failure is inevitable. We only fail when we quit on our aspiration. Point number one, use your failure as a feedback system. So you embarked on something. What you embarked on never worked. Instead of blaming yourself and instead of you burying yourself in shame, look at failure as a feedback system. You did not achieve what you set your heart to achieve, or you failed on your first attempt, second attempt. What you need to question is not maybe the validity of your aspiration or your dreams. What you need to question rather is that what is it that you are not doing right? What is it that you can actually learn from what you are failing to accomplish? What lessons can you gather? Because when we fail, we are getting feedback that the strategies, the wisdom, the resources that we deployed towards achieving a particular agenda were either not good enough or we were not deployed efficiently and effectively. So when you fail at something, don't think that you failed because your aspirations are invalid. You failed probably because maybe the timing wasn't right. So use your failures as a feedback system. Let them get information from your failures. Reflect on your failures. Point number two, draw strength from those who support you, not from your critics. Because most of the times is that we are so afraid of our failures because we are always thinking about what will people say, what will be somebody say, and we are so consumed about what other individuals will say, and we forget actually to draw strength and support from our supporters. I believe that each one of us do have supporters. Those supporters could be our families, could be our wives, could be our husbands, could be our children. Lean back and draw strength from your support base instead of focusing on your critics. This is what I've also realized in life. People always talk, whether you are doing good whether you are doing bad. They'll always talk. When you succeed, they'll say you've become arrogant, you have become indifferent, you're no longer calling them the way you used to call them. When you fail, they'll also talk how you failed miserably, and how you thought you had all what it takes for you to succeed, and they will laugh at you and mock at you. So whether you succeed, there'll always be people who will be talking. When you fail, there'll also be people talking because you have failed. But instead of focusing on the critics, those individuals who doesn't even mean much to you, who haven't even contributed to your life, rather focus on the individuals that supports you. What is it that they are saying? What is their advice? What is it? Hear from them. And I believe that if people love you and care for you, they'll give you also feedback, but also they will show you love, and they will also show you care. The care that we receive from our support base is an important aspect of it's an important ingredient, because it helps us to gather the energy to also rest as we plan and re-strategize, so that we are able to move forward and embark on our aspiration. I also believe that point number 3 is that for you to fully recover from your failures is that you have to accept and take full responsibilities. The challenge that I've seen is that most of the time when we fail academics, we'll blame the lecture, we'll blame we didn't have enough of that. And whenever we fail in a relationship, we blame the other person. The other person was not willing to make the relationship work. When we fail in our businesses, we'll shift the blame on our business environment. But the truth of the matter is that when you embark on a journey and you fail, you will also realize that there are individuals within the same sector, within the same hard environment, that are actually achieving and they're doing well. If your marriage is failing apart, you can't completely blame it on the other person, because while your marriage or relationship has fallen apart, there are other individuals whose relationship are striving. So what you need to do, instead of shifting the blame, you have to get to the place where you deeply reflect on what really went wrong. What is it that you didn't do right? You take full responsibility for your failures. You own them. Because if you don't own your failures, how are you going to own your success? How are you going to create a path that you know is possible for you to succeed? So in owning our failures, we are saying that we take full responsibility because this didn't work. It was also, when you say you are taking responsibility, you are also saying that it was within your power to succeed, and that actually success is within your power. So taking full responsibility is also taking power from external forces, because when power is in the hands of external forces, what you are saying, you have no control over your life, you have no control over your business, you have no control over your relationship, you have no control over your career. When you take full responsibility, you are saying you are taking the responsibility because the power is within you, within you to succeed, within you to achieve your goals. So if you want to heal and recover from your failures, it is important that you take full responsibility. Point number 4, which is actually also linked to both point number 1 and point 3, which is about taking full responsibility, is that you have to find the root cause. The root cause. What is it that went wrong? Because in the same line where you failed, other people have succeeded. In the same career you failed, other people are succeeding. In the same business venture that you failed, other people are succeeding. In the same ministerial, so those of you who are in ministry, who are pastors like me, in the same environment where your ministry is not thriving, other individuals are thriving. So what you need to do is not to blame others. But you have to actually reflect deeply and say, what is the root cause? Because if you can take responsibility, if you can find the root cause, if you can use your failures as a feedback system, what is going to happen is that you are not actually going to quit. You are going to use the lessons that you have gathered. You are going to use the data, the information that you have gathered actually to launch yourself again so that you are able to succeed in the same area that you failed in. This is what I've come to believe, and I want to insist. When you fail, don't think that your aspirations are not valid. Don't think that maybe, and this is what happens, that sometimes when we fail, we also even lower our dreams, we lower our aspiration, because we are saying, maybe I failed because my goal was very high. No, your goal wasn't high. That's not the reason why you failed. You failed because maybe you didn't use the right strategy. So there is no reason for you to lower your aspiration, and there's no reason for you to discredit your visions and your purpose. So this year, as you have embarked on a journey to achieve some of the goals that you have set out for yourself, I want to say this, that you may encounter challenges, and you may encounter some setbacks, and you may also fail. But you have to understand that failure is part and parcel of actually the path to success, and how we deal with our failures also points to to how we are also going to deal with our success. So today, I just came to encourage you, to inspire you. If you are facing any challenge and you're looking for ways and means to overcome some of those challenges, and this personal development program is tailor-made for individuals that want to advance their lives, want to become better, and want to achieve their goals. And I will be out there to provide, out here to provide support, counsel, and coaching. And feel free to inbox me, feel free to chat with me, so that we can come up with ways to support you and empower you, so that this year and going forward, you can achieve whatever you have sensed is possible within your heart. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I will see you again at 3 p.m. Same time, right here on the platform where you are listening from me, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Facebook. You can just come in at 3 p.m. and I will be able to share some insight along the same topic regarding personal development. See you and enjoy the rest of the day. God bless you. Bye-bye.